CGTN, China Global Television Network.
I'm still learning at 48 how to make my boys better dancers, how to make my girls more gracious. It is an ongoing, evolving beauty that is the body that you do in this art form that is ballet.
Ballet works for me because I am a very calm and shy and chilled person. And that's all it requires to be a ballet dancer. Discipline, respect like your colleagues, respect your work, be committed to your work. And yeah, I think that's the kind of person I am.
Since I was small, I just developed a passion. I mean, she's a fantastic dancer. She never did dancing professionally, but it's just in my genes, so it's what I love doing. I think it's very underrated. People just see it as something for kids to do during the school times. As soon as I hit 18, like that's it, no more dancing. It's just something you did in your teens. But they don't realize that you can actually make a career out of it. I mean, when I tell people that I dance professionally, they don't believe me. They're like, okay, so what do you do? What's your job then? And I'm like, no, I get paid to dance. It's what I do for a living. People don't realize it's how big it can actually be. I think it's an overseas thing. You only become a professional once you've gone overseas. There's lots of little places that are trying to make it a lot bigger, but yeah, it's very underrated.
There's not a lot of interest in it when it comes to male dancers. Like younger male dancers, there's a few, but once they start getting older, they start not like enjoying ballet anymore, which is weird. When I was in primary school, I was ridiculed a lot for doing ballet. So in a way, it could be that. It's just there aren't that many boys doing ballet, so it's not really a challenge for them.
Ballet was the only form of dance that they had at my primary school at the time, and I went to join the ballet class there and obviously fell in love with it, and I just ended up doing ballet.
We're not very far for the country that is developing, but I feel that we could still step it up.
Despite a growing interest in ballet in South Africa, there are challenges for male ballet dancers which cannot go unnoticed.
I know that perception have changed over the years, and where ballet or male dancers practicing ballet is more accepted. The times have changed, not as before, where it was seen as a girl's thing to do. I think our male dancers suffer sometimes, but more as a result of not being or having support from family or parents to choose dance as a career.
The biggest challenge that I would say I have faced in my dancing career is not being able to easily convince my family that I actually can become a dancer and have a career in dancing.
Okay.
I wanted him to be a boxer. This dancing stuff.
It doesn't want this dancing stuff. Is
to me, but okay, I have accepted that. I mean, his choice.
He says he wanted me to be a boxer. I have never even been in a fight with a girl. How can I become a boxer?
No, you don't have to fight with the girls. You have to love the girls more.
Okay. Okay, now I see.
I'm a former boxer. That's why I wanted you to be a boxer.
Hey, not a lot of opportunities are coming about, but I'm trying my best to find my way through all of those things because my dream was to by next year I wouldn't be in South Africa. I'd be dancing somewhere overseas. I'm still persistent and hopeful that it's going to happen.
Dance as an art form is very often taken for granted or not given enough credit. People don't always believe that it can be a career, and it also contributes towards those people who use dance as a medium to tell a story and also to put a message out there.
Ballet is the hardest thing to do, I think. I've done it before, but I had to adapt to other styles of dance forms. Because I felt that, yeah, ballet is the best way to train a child. Because once you give you learn the basics, as a teacher, they can do any other form of dance.
And flip, right, and plie. Okay, plie, and four, and stretch.
It's important to have them come to this class. This year, they have boys of the same age that's going through exactly the same thing. If the passion can be captured here, which generally when we walk away here, Fion's in such a good mood, that is how it will be, for them. Other boys don't understand. We need to get these boys together in order to stick together.
Any dad would like his boy to play cricket, play rugby, and all that. And then you see your child enjoying something, you see him grow into a strong young man, and you also see him entertaining people. Having a love for the entertaining business, I had to respect that. And there's still certain principles, you can teach him as a dad, so you don't have to be scared if those principles are laid out correctly. We did have the one or two situations where boys would call him out, and we told him what to tell them and invite them to come and see him dance, and that changes the whole perspective around it. They do see then that boys or men can dance.
I think it begins in schools. Teachers need to change their perception and really encourage boys to be open-minded about art, about dancing, about partnering girls. How you bring up your children as parents, that we are more open-minded and more forgiving in a lot of what we do. It is always associated with homosexuality because a lot of dancers, not only in classical ballet, are gay. And I'm a big stickler that my boys never go on stage, if they are gay, looking effeminate. Whether you're homosexual or not, the audience do not want to know that part of behind the scenes. They're coming there for the magic that is ballet. Whether you're coming from the township or whether you're coming from the southern suburbs or northern suburbs, the male dancer, the stigma is always attached, because as a little boy, you're the only little boy in a room swimming of little pink tulle girls. So you're associated with being a little girl in the room.
And push, and fit.
They used to be teased a lot because they had to wear ballet tights and even leotards. But the community doesn't know that it's a male leotard, but a leotard is for women. So we had to do a lot of educational talks to them and engaging with the parents. And yes, the community could see that it gave them another sense of being better human beings, because they could see that discipline is instilled.
Yeah, there are many, many, many straight male dancers, and that's the biggest misconception, is that they are actually gay, but they're not.
I'm a professional male dancer and I'm straight. So I think that's one of the reasons also why men stop dancing later on in life, because they don't want to be seen as, oh, he's doing ballet, so he must be gay.
I think maybe here it's quite taboo because it's not as well known as an art form or as just a job for guys. So I think the boys struggle, especially when they're young. They get bullied at school. They're called sissies and things, and it's, you know, it's really not like that.
In the dance world, there's no such stigma at all. It's for the audience who's perhaps not so familiar with ballet and how much it takes to be a male dancer, and the strength that you need and the intelligence that you need to have to partner your lady and so she doesn't fall over. And then she looks good and you don't. So
When I started dancing at school, like, because of not much of a knowledge of ballet, I was called a gay, morphe, whatever, all these things, but it really never kind of affected me because I knew I'm not, and I just do what I do because I love it.
Some friends were supportive, some friends were like negative, like, you started wearing tights now, you're becoming gay or whatever, but then that kind of stuff you have to ignore and just focus on what you're focused on.
I'm proud to say that I'm a gay male ballet dancer, but that doesn't affect my work on stage, because on stage I'm a male and I have to be strong and I have to be there for my partner, and as feminine as I am off stage doesn't mean I'm like that on stage, because on stage I'm strong because that is what I have to be.
I think once they pass that bridge and they realize that they really enjoy it and it's a wonderful thing to do, they go on to greater things.
Family was quite supportive. I had my cousin who already was dancing and then who we were already going to see performances of. And then for them to go see me, they're like, the second kid in the family is doing ballet, so we have to support this.
As a black ballet dancer, I am able to do as any other color, and even more or better than. So that, I think, was the most important thing that they had to prove.
I would say I am good for a black dancer in South Africa.
What are you doing? Are you sure? Yes. Wait.
At one point, I was considered the first black male to do lead roles in South Africa. I was the first male in South Africa to do Swan Lake, to do Giselle, to do Carmen, to do a lot of ballets.
Some dancers are further confronted by challenges emanating from where they live. In 2010, Kola was stabbed on his way home.
This is where I got stabbed. I got off a taxi drops you off like right here. And then as I walked towards the area, these two guys came. They tried to murder me.
And then this one guy started pulling out a gun, and then he hit 3 shots on the ground, and one of them shots hit my foot. And I was off for 3 months because I wasn't able to dance for 3 months.
So we moved out here in 2001 when the housing projects, they were giving out houses, and my mom signed her name to get a house because we lived in a shack in Guguletu since 97 till 2001. So it was quite nice for her to get her own place. After warm up, we do like rehearsals for the whole day. So we start with Giselle at 12 o'clock till 1:30, and then we have lunch at 1:30, and then more rehearsals after that. Right now, I wanted to go through my routines with my partner, just going through it before the rehearsal starts. 10 o'clock class, and then rehearsals, break 1:30 to 2:30, and then more rehearsals till 6. When we have shows, we go till like late 11, 12-ish. Kind of have a problem with on my outer side of my shin. I feel like a muscle is pulling or something. It's no problem. I can get it fixed because we have physio if we have any problems, any injuries. Practice going well. I've done like 4 seasons of Giselle before, so we just started rehearsing, started relearning it last week. So it's all coming back to me because I've done it before, so it's no problem.
Every year, Cape Town City Ballet sets the stage for a spectacular performance.
All the girls want to dance with Paula because they feel so safe with him.
This year, they present the classic performance, Giselle.
Giselle, of course, is one of my favorite ballets, and it's one of my favorite ballets to produce. That has to be so together and so seamless that the audience's breath is taken away. And I think we're going to achieve that with Giselle. And off you go. Wherever you gotta go. Ola is back doing Albrecht and Giselle. And for me, he's just the character personified. He has such an in-depth knowledge of the character. It comes across when you watch him rehearse. He just tells you the story, which is what you need. I think he's going to do just wonderfully in Giselle. And he's dancing with myriad. First time for her doing the role of Giselle, and she's also just glorious. So the two of them make a very good match.
Ballet in South Africa is transcending myths to conquer what was once viewed as an exclusive dance. Lucanio is dancing and growing. Mhlale is not only dancing, but enriching his life through dance.
In dance, you are taught to be humble. You are taught to be able to take corrections quickly. You are taught to be able to be told something once and be able to apply it the next time you go through it. Those things are lifetime things that actually can make or break someone. You can't achieve those things easily, but you need to be a committed dancer. There definitely has to be a change of mind in a black man's way of life when they come from initiation, because that's where you could actually learn what it means to be a black man, what it means to be a responsible man, what it means to be someone who is orientated into getting something they want when they want it. That's the whole concept of becoming a man. So when I link it to my dance career, it's only giving me more of something that I already had. So it only emphasizes that you must put your mind into anything you want to achieve and put as much effort into it, then there's no reason why you shouldn't get it.
With these individual and collective efforts, significant strides in music and ballet continue to bear fruit. There are deliberate efforts to ensure ballet reaches every corner of the country. An example is the Dance for All Roadshow initiative.
The roadshow came about when we did Music à la carte last year. Music à la carte is an exciting show which was only done for a once-off performance at Artscape Theatre. After the production, we felt like we only did this once. You know, you work so hard and you only did one performance. Let's do it again. But let's take it a step further and take it out into the rural areas as well. Not everybody can afford to come to the theatre. So we're taking it free of charge. And to expose these kids to come and watch and enjoy and be entertained and hopefully be inspired also. Yeah, that's where the concept or the idea of the roadshow came about.
This deep-rooted passion for music and dance in South Africa will surely see them leave a mark on the global dance stage, creating an impact for generations to come.
I think Dance for All is very, very important because the children are taken off the streets, away from the violence, away from family violence, away from what's happening within the township. They find it a very safe haven, a place where they are nurtured and looked after. Along with there are other smaller groups such as Dance for All in the townships. These have been very successful, especially drawing sponsorship from around Cape Town. So people are completely backing these little institutions because it helps the children in the township.
Gola is flourishing on the global dance stage.
So with Giselle, we started like 2 months ago, started rehearsing it. And then like, you know, when you start rehearsing, you can't just put everyone together. You have to like break it down like for the principals on their own for 2 hours. And then start putting it together and then just running everything for that happens for like 2 months. Personally, me, I feel like I'm in a whole different world when I'm on stage. I feel like I'm there by myself, just doing whatever I do. If I do a role, I become that role, I become that person.
The work that we do at Dance for All and also that of many other organizations should by all means be ongoing, even long after we are gone, and for a long time into the future generations. This is vital. This is work that must carry on. There will always be kids out there who want something more, who need role models, who need something to aspire to.
So somebody like Kola has a personality of his own which comes across to the audience, which is why they love him. He's not just the person standing behind Giselle, lifting her up above his head and trying not to drop her. He actually has a role to play, and he portrays it just so beautifully.
Those people, they come here to see, like, there's different casts on every season, and they choose your cast to come watch you. So I think they are the ones that keep me pushed. Everyone wants to uplift young talent in the township. So if you are living in a township and you are a dancer, I think if you just keep pushing, I think you will make it.
I don't think there's anything more difficult than ballet, because not only do you have to be physically secure, physically honed and physically perfect, you have to be mentally with it as well. You have to be intelligent, you have to have a personality. It is just the most demanding of careers, but there's nothing like it.
It's showtime in the Cape Town Ballet calendar. And tension is beginning to build.
Quite nervous, man. It's been a while since I've done the lead role. Well, like this is a big one. So yeah, it's the first time in a while. I am excited, but I think more than excited, I'm nervous. Even before the show, when we do warm-up, I become out of breath. Every time I go to my dressing room, going through my mind, going through my steps, going through my corrections, being that person that I'm gonna have to be on stage. I think it is kind of a weight on my shoulder, because they have to look up to me, and then they also want to be in my shoes, to do all those roles.
Alone at the end, Kola realizes that his true passion for ballet has not only saved him, but it has also given his life a new meaning.